Hi lovelies, I'm Christina Maria and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here on my channel, I like to talk about all things super girly and super feminine, including fragrance, makeup, fashion, and most importantly, femininity. So if that is something that you are interested in, go ahead and click that subscribe button below and that little bell notification so that you can stay up to date on my latest and greatest content. So it is officially summertime, which means sundresses are out in full effect. For the summertime, I love dresses because it's one piece. Put it on, grab my purse, spritz of perfume, and I'm out the door. But with summer dresses comes the dreaded chub rub. And you know what? Actually, ladies, gentlemen, here today, right now, on this spot, we are banishing that word chub rub. It's highly inaccurate. Thigh rubbing is a normal part of human existence. Athletes like Serena Williams, world-renowned tennis champion Serena Williams, experiences thigh rubs. You have track stars, runners, volleyball stars, women of all shapes and sizes, men of all shapes and sizes who experience thigh rubbing, which can lead to thigh chafing. So the misnomer of chub rub is highly inaccurate and highly offensive because it can happen to anyone of any shape or size. Yes, even a size 0 can experience thigh rubbing. And in fact, in a recent study, they said that 95% of women have thigh rubbing, and only about 5% of women in the world naturally have the thigh gap. And even with that, the thigh gap has more to do with how your body internally is shaped than the external presentation. In fact, women who have thigh gap typically have slightly wider hips than the rest of us. And yes, they do tend to be on the more slender side, but just because you're a size 0 doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna have a thigh gap. And just because you're a size 6 doesn't mean you're not going to have one. It's all about your own anatomical build. So here today, we are banishing that word chub rub. It's gone. It's out of our mental dictionary, and we're gonna call it what it is. It's thigh rubbing, thigh chafing, or as I like to say it, my legs, my thighs are so in love that they can't keep their hands off of one another. And as a woman who experiences thigh rubbing, I have tried just about every single common method to avoid it. I've tried everything from this to this, and even these. Yep, my friends, I have tried it all, or at least some of the most common methods. So here on today's episode, I am going to rank the most common methods to prevent or avoid the dreaded thigh rub. And I'm going to rank them from least effective to most effective. So if this is something that you're interested in, go ahead and stay tuned. So number 8 on the list is honestly the only method that I have not tried, and it's deodorant. So for me, I just don't like the idea of having deodorant that close to my private area. Okay, I know as I was doing my research, a lot of people on the internet were swearing by using deodorant, especially if you have the tendency to sweat. And so for me, I live in a hot, humid area, but the idea of the amount of chemicals that are in deodorant that close to very sensitive parts of the body, for me, is just a major no-no. And in fact, in doing my research, it seems to kind of be like mixed reviews. You have some dermatologists who say, oh yeah, it's safe to use to prevent thigh chafing, thigh rubbing. But then you have gynecologists and obstetricians voicing their opinion, saying no, it's a no-go. It's too close to the private area. So for me, I just would recommend not using it. And even if you look at like the directions on your bottle, most of the time they recommend just using it on the underarm region. And if you're like me, for me, I like using like more natural deodorants. Okay, so this one's like magnesium deodorant. But even here on the directions, it says apply to the underarm area as needed. And even with natural deodorants, even though they may not have as many chemicals, they will usually, for the fragrance or the scent or the smell of their deodorants, will use essential oils. And even with those essential oils that close below the belt, could be a no-go. So for number 8, I'm saying deodorant, and I have not tried it, so it may be effective, but I just think it's not a good look to have deodorant that close to your private area. Number 7 on my list. Yes, this is the one I have tried. And this is good old baby powder. Make sure if you are going to use baby powder that you're using baby powder that is pure cornstarch. Make sure it does not have talc. But I'm putting baby powder in at number 7 because of a couple of reasons. First off, it's messy. Like, it goes everywhere. And then carrying this big old hunk of lug of bottle in a little teeny tiny summer purse is highly impractical. And then when it gets wet, in my area, it's hot, it's humid, I sweat all the time. So baby powder, while yes, it is used to prevent friction and rubbing together of certain part in between my thighs, I do sweat. Or if I go to the beach, I like to get in the water. And get in the water one time, this has been rendered ineffective. So number 7, good old baby powder. Make sure it's pure cornstarch. And at number 6 is Vaseline. Yeah, doing research, I found out that there are quite a few people who actually recommend Vaseline. And while I have no problems, no qualms with Vaseline, for me, in my area where it is hot, it is humid, and in fact, today it is, I want to say like 95 degrees, and then the heat index makes it feel as though it's over 100. Having thick, gloopy Vaseline smeared down below is not something that I really want to experience during these hot summer months. I am prone to kind of like heat rashes, and so with how thick Vaseline is, I feel as though it makes me a little bit more prone to experiencing those heat rashes where the skin just can't breathe. But it is great at reducing the friction, of the thighs rubbing. But for me personally, the con of, just getting hot, sweaty, it's greasy, and yeah, this is the big bottle. They do make smaller bottles. Just kind of carrying it around and having to reapply it in a inconspicuous way, not feeling it. So in at number 6, Vaseline. Number 5, Shapewear. Yeah, Shapewear. I love Shapewear. I do. Okay, I believe Shapewear and, a pair of Spanx, whatever you call it, whatever brand you use, awesome. Okay, at really kind of firming and compressing and, really just creating this smooth silhouette. But if I'm trying to use it to prevent thigh rubbing, shapewear is one of my least favorite ways. Why? All right, so the shapewear that I have has this kind of like silicone band around the thigh, all right, which is great when I'm wearing it and, you know, I don't want it to roll. But yet again, it comes down to sweat. During the summer months, this silicone can get a little sticky. All right, and then I also have shapewear, like this pair that I have here, and I love these. And these are from, so who are these by? These are by Miracle Suit, and I love these. All right, these are like my favorite pair of shapewear. Okay, and the back, this is the back. Yet again, has more of the silicone, but then it even has like this little boning. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, that boning there. I love it. Like these from Miracle Suit are awesome. It just really kind of sucking and pulling everything in together. But during the summer, like I said, whew, when you're hot and sticky and sweaty and all this silicone and everything being compressed and being squeezed and tightened in together, oh my gosh, if you go to the bathroom and you have to try to pull these up and you're hot and you're sweaty and everything's just kind of sticking together, oh, pulling these bad boys up, it's gonna be a tug-of-war battle, a fight to the death. So the pinching, the binding, the rolling that normally comes with shapewear during the regular months are just really kind of heightened during the summer heat. So for me, shapewear, number 5. Number 4 are these kind of awesome things, and I really kind of like them. That's why they're number 4. Are these? They're called bandalettes. And with the bandalettes, they go around your thigh, and they're pretty. All right. And you have this nice like strip of silicone here to keep them from rolling. And unlike the shapewear, the bandalettes are just that. They are a band that goes around the upper portion of your thigh and is used to help prevent thigh rubbing or thigh chafing. The reason why they're in at number 4, okay, A, you have to know what size your thigh is. So for most people, you may not have like a seamstress measuring tape in your house. So when I first purchased my pair of bandalettes, and I got them off of Amazon, I made sure to read customer reviews. And even with the customer reviews, there seemed to be a lot of like mixed opinions. Some people were saying to size up, some people were saying to size down, some people were saying, oh, the key to success with the bandalettes is wearing them in this certain position, as you can see here, where it's kind of up on the inside and then kind of tugged down on the other side, the, I guess, external side. And it was really confusing. So I ended up buying 2 pairs and returning 1. But these are brand new. These, I like them. All right, but even after a couple of wears, even with the silicone, they will start to kind of roll down. So while they're cute, they're lightweight, and they're great at helping to prevent thigh rubbing, there are a couple of cons. The silicone, yet again, it can get sticky, it can get a little slimy when you're sweating. B, you may not know your thigh size, so it does take a couple of, like I did, I bought a size up and a size down based upon the measurements, and then you have to really worry about the position. And they do have the tendency to roll. So I realized if I wore them together, if I wore both pairs, that they would kind of start rolling down, one would start rolling down. And so what I would do is I would just only wear one. And while the other thigh is just, it's, you know, great bare self, wearing the one bandalette for me proved to be a little bit more effective. But I think having to, you know, get everything measured and the silicone, that's why I have these at number 4. And at number 3 are these actually like new product that I just discovered as I was researching for this video. And these are called Chicky Chaps. Okay, they're kind of like a reverse garter type thing. They're actually shorts. All right, and they snap to your underwear. So you have these snaps here, and they just easily snap to your underwear. You have 1 or 2 in the front, I guess, on each leg. 1 in the front, 1 in the back, and then your other leg. So here's your front. These snap to the front of your underwear, and then the longer ones snap to the back side of your underwear. Now, what I do like about these is that there is no silicone. So on the leg, there's no silicone whatsoever. How they stay up is all dependent upon the snaps. All right, and you have this beautiful, very soft, luxurious mesh fabric that's so breathable and lightweight. And then with no silicone, you don't have that pinching or binding, the rolling that you will get with like the Shapewear or even the Bandalettes. Now, why is it in number 3? Is because it all depends on what you're wearing. So first off, with your undergarments, your underwear, they recommend that they have to fit snug to the body. And then you have to make sure that you're either wearing cotton or some sort of spandex material. If you're wearing like lacy underwear, their concern is with snaps. So the snaps could mess up your pretty lace underwear. So they want to make sure that you're wearing cotton or spandex underwear, and then they really just go up and down, like when you have to go to the restroom, just like your underwear. So these Chicky Chaps I really do like, and I highly recommend. Another thing with the Chicky Chaps is that they really depend on what outfit you're wearing as well. So while they depend upon the undergarments, they also depend on your outer garments or your clothes, the dress that you're wearing that day. So if you're wearing something that is more fit and flare, where it's fitted at the top and flares out at the bottom, you will not see the Chicky Chap. However, if you're wearing something that is a little bit more fitted to the body, the Chicky Chaps will show. All right, so you will have not even just like panty line, but you'll have like lumps and bumps and ruffles and all sorts of just, you know, things from the snap. You'll see the bow imprint. You may even see the lace imprint. So that's why I put them in at number 3. I love them. I'm so glad I purchased them, but I have to wear them only with like my more fit and flare type dresses. So that is why Chicky Chaps are coming in at number 3. Number 2, for the last top 3, I was like really like super critical on how to kind of rank these 3. So I love the Chicky Chaps, but they, you know, lost points for what you wear. All right, you have to be very conscientious of what it is that you're wearing. My number 2, I was like torn between putting this at number 1. And so really, this could either be 1 or 2. It's getting a good friction stick. Yes, the one that I have is by Gold Bond, and this is called Friction Defense. And as you can even see on the cover or on the bottle, it has runners because dye rub can happen to anyone. So what I love about this, and this is actually my favorite brand, this is the one that I use the most. I've used some of the other ones that you can really get at like the runner stores, but what I love about the Gold Bond is that it goes on clear. All right, yeah, you can't see it. And so with some of the other ones that I did try, like the ones that were specifically sold like in runners stores or stores that were more catered towards athletes, when I would use it, and that brand in particular, it would kind of leave like this white kind of chalky residue the more I reapplied. Not the Gold Bond. I actually really love this. Like you can see, it is completely invisible. All right. And even when I reapply for like touch-ups in between the day, or if I go to the beach, I can easily reapply. It looks like a stick of deodorant. So carrying this around in your bag or in your beach bag, bloop, just drop it in and no one will know. So it can be very indiscreet. And then reapplying it, you can easily reapply it. Like just taking this out, you're in the bathroom, swipe, 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 and you're good to go. No one will ever know. So actually I keep a stick in my beach bag, and then this handy dandy stick I can easily plop in to a little purse and then just reapply as I need. Why is it at number 2? Well, because you do have to reapply it. All right, it's not something that will last 24 hours. If you go to the beach, you get in the water, you will need to reapply. And then, or if you're not even at the beach, if you're walking around and you're walking around for hours, when you do start to sweat, you will need to reapply. But because of like how effective it is and the size, like this is something you can easily throw into the bag. It's not greasy. It doesn't leave a residue. This is my number 2. And in at number 1, oh, I absolutely love these. These are hands down my favorite way to prevent thigh rubbing or thigh chafing. And these are called slip shorts. Yep, that's it. And the name is exactly what they are. They're like a slip, but they are shorts. So I love these. Okay, yes, they look like shapewear, but they do not have the same properties of shapewear. So there's no silicone, okay? The goal of slip shorts is really just to kind of keep everything from rubbing together, whether it's your thighs rubbing together or even helping with the material, like preventing your material from, kind of getting all staticky. They're lightweight, they're breathable, there's no silicone, there's no rolling, there's no pinching, no binding, none of that. I love these because they're super duper stretchy. And in fact, I could have gone a size down, but I wanted to make sure that there wasn't the compression like with a pair of shapewear. I wanted to make sure that I can just put them on and just breathe. I'm not worried about being snatched and compressed and making sure that everything is smooth. But because these are, pretty seamless, everything is smooth. I don't have to worry about a whole lot of like panty line or, these kind of showing through the dress. They are awesome. And I highly recommend. This material is like this really super soft microfiber material that helps to wick away sweat. Yeah, it wicks it away. It's like it's not even there. All right. So in my number 1 position, I'll get you a pair of slip shorts. Love them, love them, love them. So there you have it. The 8 top ways to prevent thigh rubbing or chafing. And yes, that word is still banished. Okay, so anytime someone else tries to bring it up, you let them know, we don't use that word anymore because it can happen to anybody, regardless of your shape or size. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. And if you want, go ahead and leave a comment. Is there a method that you have used that was not listed to help prevent thigh rubbing? What's your most effective way? Let me know in the comment sections down below, and feel free to share this video. Help other people. Let them know, hey, if it's happening to you, it's happening to somebody else. How they too can prevent the dreaded thigh rubbing. So until next time, guys, bye. Mwah.